What's going on, guys? Another beautiful day. It's been a couple of weeks since I worked on the truck. We've been distracted. We started doing some work on the Sportster, but while we're waiting on some parts to come in, we're going to start tackling some of the small jobs that I've got left on this truck. The frame swap is getting there. I didn't really have a deadline for it. I'm not trying to keep it under any sort of budget, but when I initially started the project, I thought that I could do it for less than $5,000, and we're coming up on just over $3,000 so far spent on this project. I know some people have been able to do it cheaper, but I guess I was just kind of naive, new to the practice of doing it. But we've got a lot of work to do on this thing. There's a lot of small jobs. A lot of small jobs left to do on it. But some of the big stuff is done. The truck is on the frame. The bed's on the frame. I gotta work on making some sort of assist for the front of the hood. I want to try to make it forward tilting instead of the standard rear tilt. Need to fill in some gaps on the bodywork. I've got to fill in the gap from the fender stretch that we did. We've got a couple pieces that we pulled from a donor 59, I think it was, F100. So we're gonna take those pieces and just split down where it's pretty bad right here, and try to probably keep that side. Do that for both sides of the truck. Fill in that gap. And the gap in the cowl to the hood, I'm going to use the front of the donor 59 hood, or not the front, but the rear of it, because some of the body lines still match the 1960, so we'll use that. And the fender flares, we've got a lot of tire rubbing in the front. Stretch out the gap here, go from what I think it's like 6 inches and move it maybe a little bit further that way. I don't hate it though. Not so much the rear. I've expanded that about 2 inches, pushed the fender flares out so the tire could fit into the bed. The fender well was opened about, what is that, 2 inches? 2 or 3 inches right here. And in the front, I'll probably do the same thing. I might have to come out more than just the couple inches. I might have to come out like 2 or 3 on that. So that we get rid of the tire rubbing, just follow that body line, cut it and then split it open, and then we'll fill it with some material out. But if I look at all of the work that is required, all of the work that is still need to be done, I'll get overwhelmed pretty quick. There's a lot of body work. There's a lot of rust. There's old, somebody try to repair it with some, I guess, Bondo or something. It's pretty rough. It's in rough shape, but this isn't a show truck. Lots of issues here we'll have to address. And then I gotta worry about painting it. But it's probably been 2 months since I worked on it. As far as interior goes, still a lot of work to do. Got to fill in a lot of these gaps. Put some structure in there. The wiring, yes. Absolute rat nest. Nearly every piece of glass on this truck has to be replaced. Lots of cracks in it. Crack in that one. I think the rear window is the only one that isn't cracked, but if I'm replacing all of them, I'm gonna replace that one too. I did install some bracing in here. That's just tack welded in. I'll have to go over that again. But the bracing, I'm hoping to put in some wood, maybe some composite decking. Give it like a raised bed kind of look. But while we're on the subject of the bed and putting these bracing in, I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery. I'm gonna relocate it to the rear, just behind the passenger seat, but put it in the bed. We've got this battery box right here. It'll sit kind of like that. Let me prop the hood up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. The battery used to live here, and there's a lot of bracing inside the engine bay to hold up the 45, 50 pound battery. But right now it's just sitting on a piece of plastic and it's not really stable. I will need to put in some bracing so that I can attach the front tilt styled hood. So I will come in with some bracing and go over the front of it from frame point to frame point and really tie in the front of this fender front clip. Because right now it's only being held in by those two pieces of box tubing and the OEM fender mount. I'm going to get started on making a battery tray for the bed to fit this battery box. Fresh coat of paint on there. This is my third design. The first one I was just going to use angle iron for the base, and then I was just going to use this strap, the strap that came with the battery case. It just felt flimsy, a couple self-tapping screws, and I thought I could do better, so I put this, actually used to be a lock kind of bar for an old toolbox. So then I put that on there. It's pretty solid. Also put in some diagonal straps connecting that piece to here. Added security, that was my dad's suggestion. This thing is ready to be bolted into the truck.